What's up? So if you want to get into calisthenics, then an absolute must is learning how to go from an L-sit into a handstand. I'd say behind the muscle up, it's probably the second dynamic movement that most beginners should try learn. And now obviously you have to be able to actually hold an L-sit and a handstand before you can attempt this. And the stronger your base level of strength, the less time you're going to spend struggling to learn this. So if you take your time, build up a decent base level of strength, then you're going to learn this way quicker than most people. Now, there's two main issues that people run into when it comes to this move. The first and most common is that when you go from that L-sit into that tuck position, people let their shoulders drop way too low to the floor. So the more acute the angle is at the elbows, the more control and strength is going to be required to actually press up into that handstand. It's not impossible, but if you're a beginner starting out, it's just going to make the move way more harder and you're going to need way more strength. Hello little guy, so we got a little visitor. Hello baby, hello. So the second mistake people make is that they don't actually stack the hips and shoulders above the hands properly, so their legs are angled way too far back. This could be a control issue, which is probably the main one, but it can also just be a fear issue. You're scared that if you stack yourself too much, you're just going to flop forward, and that also is going to come back to building up your strength and control. So there's two exercises I'm going to recommend that's going to help build both your strength and control. And if you take your time and learn these properly, then the L-sit to handstand is just going to come like that. So the first exercise is just going to be doing the whole thing in reverse. So basically doing a negative, right? You're going to go from the handstand into the L-sit position, but you're focusing on keeping your shoulder height. So the closer you are to the floor, I know the control feels easier and you can transition a lot easier, but when it comes to that pushing motion, when you do this thing now the proper way or in reverse, it's going to be way harder. The second exercise I call leg lift pike push-ups. So you're going to do a pike push-up, make sure you're nice and stacked, and then your legs are going to lift up and you're going to go into a bent arm handstand and then come back down. This is going to help build your control and also help develop your strength. In the beginning, you're probably going to have to go quite low to the floor to allow your legs to come up, but the more you practice this, the more you can be able to keep your elevation and height. And then later on, if you want to, you can even press up into a handstand. If you take your time with those two exercises and get really confident and comfortable with it, the only other thing to keep in mind is that when you extend your legs, you want to press with your hands at the same time. So you don't actually have to be able to do a strict handstand push-up to do an L-sit to a handstand. It should feel way easier because you're going to use the extension of your legs as a momentum drive to help you press up into the handstand. I'm going to go so far to say that the only reason people really struggle with this move is just because they have a lack of patience and they don't want to take the time necessary to actually build up their strength. Work on the strength portion of this and it should come really, really easily. If you do have any questions or you're running into any other sort of problems I haven't really thought about or put in this video, then let me know in the comments and I will get back to you. But be patient, take your time, and I promise you results will come. So all the best with your training, and I hope this video helps. Cheerio.